Hi guys, this is Gadget Man 404 and I'm just taking my FreeX Skyview out with my new FPV setup. I'm using the eSheen VTX or the TX526, and I'm also using a Pagoda antenna on that receiver or transmitter, and then I have another eSheen 16 dBi patch antenna on the ROG1, which is a little device that you plug into an Android phone with an aerial, and you plug it into the base of your phone and you run a Go FPV app, and then it turns your phone screen into an FPV monitor, and then you've got a search key on the back which it then scans for the best signal, and off you go. So today I wanted to test out this new setup. I've been painting my house in the morning, so it was really windy when it was time for me to go flying, because as the day went on the wind got stronger. So excuse the jerkiness. This gimbal, 2-axis gimbal controlled with the transmitter, is better on a very calm day. Like, I'm just taking my dogs for a walk now and it's really calm, but when I went for a walk or when I went for a fly, it was just really windy and it wasn't the best weather. And this gimbal is a bit sort of funny when it comes to wind. The wind can make the gimbal move and turn the quad. Like there, the wind is it's over 10 miles an hour. It's probably at times it's like 12-13 miles an hour gusts, and it swirls. So basically I'm fighting the wind all the time with the quad, and it doesn't help when the gimbal just does its own thing as well. If anyone knows of a better gimbal that I can use with this quad and I can control it with my transmitter, I'd very much appreciate your guys' help. But as I get it under control, I also need to get myself a little wind shade, or sorry, a sunshade, because it was so sunny and the sun was behind me when I was flying up this field. So when I'm coming back to me, I could hardly make out where I was. And I always come to this field because there's a big tree, you can't miss it, and I always aim for the tree. That's what I do, just aim for this big tree, and I'm sort of halfway between the tree and that corner. You can just make out the path, because this field will be cut later on today. I've just seen the farmers going down, because the field to the right of me has been cut, and then they'll bale up the grass into feed for their cattle later on in the year. So yeah, I'm just flying around, heavily edited video, so if it stops and starts in different places, because I've reduced a 12.5 minute flight down to about 9. But the fly is lovely, don't get me wrong, this quad can handle wind, but it does affect the gimbal quite a lot. That's why it's sort of rolling from left to right. I'm just going forward, but the quad is actually fighting the wind a little bit, and it's turning itself just a little bit, nothing too much, but it's there, it's happening. So I'm trying to correct that part there. It just nearly did a 360, and that was mainly wind that did that. That was just totally wind that turned it round. So just got to watch my neighbour, because he's going to reverse into his drive and not run me over, hopefully. Here we go, sorted. So I'm just flying, coming to the end of the flight. I've got a few minutes, so I'm just sort of going around the field a little bit, and I really love this quadcopter. It's Not quite a budget quad. I think I paid 200-ish for it, plus I've got a bag. And to get that with a gimbal on a quad, a GPS quad with a 2-axis gimbal, I think is quite good actually. So I'm just doing just flying it round really, just to flatten the battery. But this point here, the wind is totally taking it around and around, and then I'll start to descend soon. But it's very hard because, like I say, the wind was really strong at times, and it was just really whipping it around. I was doing my best to fight it, and coming down now. I like to, when I come down, I like to tip the actual camera down, and you'll see me soon. You should also see my orange launch pad, I think. But anyway, it's just, yeah, there I am. I'm just sort of at the bottom of the screen now. It's great little quad. Well, it's not a little quad, that was the wind again just shaking it, and I'm just trying to direct it down. And basically I always land it, I never land it on the actual pad because it would never land on the pad anyway and it'd bounce around. So I always do a hand landing, and I'm just using my camera. Now this bit's not going to be in sync because I'm actually doing a voiceover of the original audio, but as you know, this is me, Gadgetman 404, just trying my new setup. And basically I didn't really get breakup, but with it being so windy I didn't really get chance to go as far as I normally would go, but I still had a good fly around. I didn't lose picture at all. I had a little bit of static, it just sort of fuzzed on the edges, but other than that it really did well. That's my G-Tang T909 that I use as my monitor. I use also I've got the FPV viewer app, the Go FPV, on my mobile phone, but it's very erratic, and it's the phone keeps crashing, and then sometimes when you try and get it to load back up it won't always load. So I just need to get a decent version which will work with my existing phone, because the phone I'm using is a work phone, and it just crashes every now and again. I just think it's the app itself. It's not the well, I suppose it's the phone software with the app. They're just not completely compatible. If anyone knows, I think I'm using the 2.2 version. If anyone knows of an earlier version than that, I'd appreciate it. And yeah, Gadgetman 404 out. Cheers guys. See you guys.